All right, so what picture do we have this round? Just go around.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Because you picked this out. This was your picture that you picked out that you wanted to relive the memory.
Yeah, I picked this picture out. Let me look at it here so I can really get into it. Yeah, check us out. We were, that was Lake Okeechobee Music Festival.
Okeechobee.
Yeah, 2023.
Let's say it together. 3, 2, 1.
Happy Okie. Happy Okie. Yeah, that's what they say.
Oh my gosh. Everyone you passed, happy Okie, happy Okie, happy Okie. God, it was so fun. What was that little statue called?
I told you yesterday, the Lady of the Forest. What was it? Lady of the Forest?
No.
What was it?
Like Goddess of the Jungle.
Goddess of the Jungle.
Lady of the Forest. Goddess of the Jungle.
Totally failed on that one. She's important.
She is important. That was so much fun. That was my very first festival. So
Music festival, yeah.
You popped my festival cherry.
Okay. I just wanted you to go to the music festival with me. I've been
You've had lots of festivals.
Not that many, mate. Not that many. I've been to a few music festivals. I went to Okeechobee the year before.
As a virgin of a festival, and you wanted to take it.
You're being weird. I've been to a few music festivals, and I'd had a good time, but this specific music festival, Lake Okeechobee, which is in Sunshine Grove or Okeechobee, right around there. And it's 2 hours away from where we live. So anytime you go to a music festival, if you can go to something that's close to the house, because usually you're up, you're awake for a long time or not sleeping a lot, and you don't want to travel long distance whenever you've been awake listening to loud dance music.
That's one of the perks about it, but it was really fun. I was very skeptical going in.
Yeah, I knew that it was something that was not up your alley or something that you've ever thought about or really considered maybe.
No, I've thought about it. I just no one I associated myself with went to festivals really. Mm-hmm. I mean, I would have loved to gone to like Coachella or Austin City Limits but it was just never one of those conversations that was ever brought up. So
it's kind of like going to the state fair for like 4 days in a row. That's what it's like. It's like going to the state fair and camping out. It's like if one day at the state fair isn't good enough, just hang out there all week.
I did not know what to expect, but I'm also one of those people that will I'm down for the ride.
Go try it out.
Yeah, I'll try anything.
Which is fun.
So it was so much fun. I think we had a really good spot at the campsite, which helped a lot. And yeah, again, I just did not know what to expect. I just brought all my funky outfits
yeah, you did a really good job with your outfits, by the way. For being your first time, you got the outfits part down.
Nailed it.
The fashion. That's actually a pretty big part of it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know until you go there and experience that and see those people, and they're like, they got every outfit picked out for each day, and it's really pretty neat.
Yeah. So what kind of music would you say it was?
I would say like electric dance music, electronic DJs. But they have so much music there that, it usually depends. I think there's like 5 stages, maybe 6 stages. And they have different kinds of music going on throughout the day,
It's crazy.
And then at nighttime it changes.
I mean, this place is in the middle of nowhere, and you just pull up and you turn into this road, and you kind of, drive down a long road.
There's actually like 2 or 3 different entrances to the actual festival.
But I mean, then you just get in it, and it's like you're in it. And so many different stages, so many different setups and themes, and music literally going 24/7 or 24 hours a day for 4 days. But we missed the first day just because I think we just decided not to go that Thursday. And then we went early Friday, Saturday, came back Sunday night, but that felt like a week in 3 days.
So our group wasn't a very big group of people. You and I rode in the car together. Then we met our friends Taylor and Omar that run the Parasail Jet Ski Company, and then we met our friends Kevin, who was a trainer at Crunch Fitness. That's how I met him. And then he had a group of friends that were, some of them were from Sarasota, but they were currently living in St. Pete or Tampa area. But then we met his friends, and they're a little bit younger than us, but they're a really cool group of people. And
I think everyone at a festival, you have to just assume that they're going to be chill and down to earth and low key, and it's exactly how it was.
As long as your little campsite and your little immediate group is good, and everyone was just...
And they're very well organized there, I would say. There was no trouble. I mean, getting into the campsite, you know, they had people lining up all the cars, which are all very straight, and I was very impressed. And then there's space in between, and then you just essentially pitch a tent or wherever you are. And we had the cool little...
If you can get your tent up. That one guy next to us, he was having trouble. He was having trouble with his tent, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'll help this guy." And we go over there. Well, the poles were actually messed up, so he actually couldn't help him get his tent up.
Then he had to keep all of his stuff and kind of in our site, which we had easy ups and canopies, and we had a really big site. And then we had a couple grills. This is actually what saved us. Shout out to Taylor and Omar for bringing a shower and a toilet.
Yeah.
Because that made all the difference
that
of not having to
game.
Walk far to go to the bathroom
that
every time.
The whole game of...
Shout out to Taylor and Omar.
When you're camping, if you can...
for being as bougie
shower
as me.
and pee.
Yeah. So that made a huge difference. But yeah, it was just... You want to... say the word. We want to say the word that we described it as.
What do we say? Epic? What do we say? What word do we say?
Spectacle.
It was a spectacle.
It was just a spectacle.
That's
my
funny.
Gosh. So then that was in March. Was it March of last year?
Yeah. March.
Yeah, it was March of last year.
Which is like my favorite month around here.
It was, oh man. Okay. It was really, really hot during the day. But then at night, it was freaking freezing. And I would go from like a tiny little outfit. And then at night, I was bundled up in sweats, a hoodie and sweatpants. But then when the sun comes up, you start feeling hot again. Oh man. It was crazy. It was you just have to just go with the flow there.
I think the one thing that I appreciate about music festivals, or the thing that I like, is for as many people as you see out there, for all the thousands of people, usually there's not any violence. And I would say most of the time there's not any, I would say, vandalism or stealing or theft going on. But I know there is probably a little bit of that going on around there. But just to see that many people, that amount of people, and obviously some people are on drugs, or a lot of people are messed up drinking, but if that many people can literally come together and have a good time, and there not be any violence or anything, it's like there can be that same peace on a larger scale.
Yeah.
It really can happen. But I think that the number one thing that you saw everybody there that you were surprised about is not everybody had their phones out filming everything. Everybody was literally just appreciating the songs. And not to say, I mean, of course you have people filming and taking videos, and we do too. Everybody does. But when you're there, they say, enter the portal. That's kind of the thing. Enter the portal.
Well, and you told me that there was no cell phone service. So I just went into it, which I'm kind of glad you told me that, because it made me be more in the moment. Obviously, like you said, we took our phones because that was our source of taking pictures. We didn't have a camera, but there was multiple videos where there was, the main headliner was playing, and I was like, well, I do want a video or two. I'm not one of those people that records entire concerts, because that's freaking annoying. But I took my phone out, and I had several videos where everyone in front of me, there was no screens. I thought that was just super cool, because everyone really is just there living in the moment. But yeah, that was one of my favorite things. The shower, the toilet, and then no cameras. That's my favorite thing.
How about the music? Who was your favorite musical artist?
Well, I won't go into detail about why I missed half of Odessa, but Odessa was really good until we had to leave. Sorry. But then obviously Grizz, I think Grizz was my favorite. Yeah. Who was we didn't see the Sunday headliner because did we? Was there, what Sunday headliner was there?
Who did the sound bath? No.
Well, that was during the day.
So, but they didn't headline at night.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I forgot that person's name, but it was Odessa Friday night, Grizz Saturday, and then we ended up leaving Sunday night. So we probably missed the headliner, but I'm sure they weren't as good as those. But Odessa was awesome. Grizz was awesome.
Yeah, Grizz reminded me of like Michael Jackson in his prime, is what I was telling you. It was just like
I was just watching those huge screens the whole time.
The heck? I'm like, this guy's going all out, you guys.
I liked his chili. I liked the very beginning. I burnt the chili. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Grizz. But also what's really funny is that that was in March, and then obviously we found out we were pregnant in July. And we were like, no, we're not going to get to go to Okeechobee next year. But they're not even having it next year.
Womp womp.
Hopefully that's just a 1-year thing. Because I would totally go back.
It'll take a couple year break, I'm sure.
Do you think the reason was because someone accidentally died there?
You know, I don't have all the facts in front of me. These are just things that people have talked about. So, to be honest with you, when you go to some event like that and you see how many people are there and how many people are you know, they're in small, close quarters, it's like we're lucky that there's not more accidents that occur.
Yeah,
I mean, whether it's freaking NASCAR events, baseball, football games, music festivals, like the fact that we keep our stuff in such good order that we're all able to get in there, watch something for several hours or days, eat, you know, stay clean, stay healthy, survive, and leave. It's like, it's actually a miracle. It's a small miracle that we're all operating on this giant system and it's not failing.
That, and it shows how little you actually need to survive in a way.
Right.
That just makes me even more so believe that we could do our van life.
Yeah, but having that community is important, you know, having that little home base with all your little friends there when you come back to check in. It's like, oh, how are you guys? What's up, guys? How's everybody? How was your night?
Oh, yeah.
Good. What'd you experience out there in the world?
Another word that was going on the whole trip was, what was it again?
Yeah. So anytime the group of people.
Migrating?
No. Anytime the group of people or our group would take off to one of the stages or if we're at a stage and then we're leaving to go to another stage, we're mobilizing. We're mobilizing, guys. Everybody's mobilizing.
What's funny is we would show up 10 deep and then like 2 would go this way, 1 would go, and then somehow it'd always just end up like you and I were just there by ourselves and we're like, where'd everyone go?
Yeah, everybody linked back up.
I think everyone's a little spacey. They're like trying to see everything. And they're like, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go over here. Yeah. Gosh. So anyway, if you have a chance to go to Okeechobee when they actually have it, highly recommend.
Yeah, we saw on Sunday our friends Chris and Chloe came out for one day.
Yeah.
And we went to see Night Tales, and I think Chris had told us about them. And when we went out there wasn't a lot of people. Sunday afternoon, it was kind of like really open. We're able to get right up towards the front, but just watching them play live, I was like, I found a new favorite. And then, you know, I've been listening to them all the time.
Now they're kind of blowing up a little bit.
They kind of sound like Rufus Du Sol a little bit, or kind of just upbeat. I don't know, how do you describe, what's their genre of music, I guess? Electronic?
Loungy electronic, I would say. Where there's not like beat drops. There's not a build up and then a drop. It's just very, just like a Rufus. And if anyone knows what Rufus is.
Okay.
But, yeah. So what was your favorite thing from Okeechobee?
Just being there with all the friends, that little network of people. And just, I told you this, like the reason why I like going to festivals is like, it might not be the entire time, but there will be a moment of time over the course of the few days where you actually just open up and you let go and you You're not trying to impress anybody. You're not trying to. There will be a moment, whether it's a few minutes, a few hours, there will be some time where you don't give a crap about anybody or anything else. You're dancing, you're jumping up and down. Like, there's a moment that it makes you let go. It makes you
totally
relax. And we don't do that anymore. Like, as we should, you know, people
society?
like people in the United States, we're always go, 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 got to do this. It's like, but when you're there, you actually like, oh,
do you
my
think
gosh.
I did that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, when I'm at a concert, I love a good concert.
Well, it's kind of hard not to like just when they start shooting up the fireworks and flame and like when you see the production, it's like, wow. It's like, you know, they spend some money on the pyrotechnics and stuff like that. And so it's pretty, like you said, it's a spectacle.
So good.
You know, so being a part of it's a nice feeling. And then you got to go back to real life.
Yep.
And then you just got to be grateful for real life and for the spectacle because it's a balance, you know.
It was so hard that week to get back to reality.
Yeah, I had the day off the next day, but you had to go back to work, and that's hard.
Gosh,
that's really hard.
Like, where was I? Golly.
Yeah, what were all those people doing out in that field?
Oh man, I'm still now I'm reliving it. I'm like, God, where was I for 48 hours? Someone like kidnapped me and.
Yeah.
Anyways, so that's Okeechobee.
Yeah, I'm glad you went. I'm glad we got to experience that together. And
yeah, like I said, I was very skeptical. I was very like, I don't know if I want to do the whole dirty camping for 4 days and.
Yeah. We went home Sunday night and
crashed.
Got to take use our shower, our big nice shower, and get in our big comfortable nice bed. And
oh man! So as of today marks 30 weeks. Pregos.
30 weeks.
We're officially.
Time is really
almost
flying by.
Single digits of weeks left.
That baby's going to be here, and we're still going to be looking at each other going, what the heck?
We found out at 5 weeks. That was 25 weeks ago. Think about how fast that went.
I think I told you this before, though, but I feel like since you and I have been together, I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like it's like a blink of an eye type thing. It feels like we've been together sometimes for me, like, a couple months, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's been about 3 years.
Yikes.
Can you do this another 60?
Here we go.
We keep it interesting.
Yeah. Try to keep it funky.
Clearly. Take a veto, Okeechobee. Yeah, we need to do more stuff like that. But, oh my gosh, yeah, like time is definitely flying. And I know that that's gonna fly having a baby as well, like having the child. Everyone's like, oh my God, everyone just goes by like the blink of an eye. And I'm like, I feel like in my current life, everything goes really slow. Like time goes fast, but like things happening go slow, if that makes sense. You know?
I guess.
Like, I'll know. It's just crazy. I've been at this job for as long as I have because I feel like nothing's happened. So it's like I've had the same day over and over and over, but time has flown by. So, you know, anyway, so.
I think that's good, though. It's good that you're in a good routine.
Yeah, definitely in a routine.
Oh.
Definitely in a routine.
You want to talk about you want to talk about this experience we had the other night in the middle of the night that woke us both up? Yeah! Ha! That's what I hear from Kayla. I woke up, I was like, what the heck is going on? She's going, ah! I'm like, oh my God, are you having a contraction? Is that what I said?
Oh,
tell it. I'm going, what the heck? I'm like, we got to go. What are we doing? What's going on? She's like, I'm cramping. I'm cramping. I'm like, where at?
No, I said I have a Charlie horse in my freaking calf, and it hurt so bad. I don't even know. It's not pain. I don't know how to describe it.
It's painful. Yeah.
It's just, you don't know what's going on. But I don't, for whatever reason, which is so weird because my sister-in-law had told me when I first got pregnant, she said that she had experienced a lot of Charlie horses while she was pregnant. And ever since I've been pregnant, I've had like 4 that have been on the verge of being a Charlie horse, where it's like, but I like shake it out before it happens because I don't know. I guess when I'm asleep, I just like stretch my whole body. I'm just like stretch, and I like, stretch my calves, and
it just locks up. I know exactly what you're talking about. You just
and it's the same.
It's that last second. It's locks up.
It's that same calf, and it just went all the way, man. And oh God, I hate Charlie horses so much. It's the worst.
So what'd you do, and what I tell you to do, and what?
So
you just sat there and took it.
I did for a second because I couldn't move. Berkeley didn't move. You're like,
I was trying to tell her to roll.
A contraction? No.
She was actually a muscle contraction. Yeah, so I was not wrong.
You weren't.
I just didn't know where it was located.
So you're like, get up and put pressure on it and walk around it. I've never known that you should stand on a Charlie horse.
Well, that muscle needs to relax.
Yeah, because it was like.
Yeah, because it stays like that sometimes.
Oh my gosh!
I've had them in my calves playing basketball and in my legs, and when it happens, I just go, "Here we go."
I've only ever got them at night. I've never got them just during the day or doing something active. It's always ever been at night when I'm asleep.
Yeah, it's towards the end of the day when you're tired and dehydrated.
But I think I was dehydrated that day. That was Sunday, and I just didn't have a lot of water. And so you got up and you brought me, and it's pitch black dark, and you I just hear this like jingling or like noise, and I'm like, what is this? And he brings me a whole can of pickles.
Pickle juice. Drink this.
I never knew pickle juice was the cure to Charlie horses.
Sodium. Yeah. Potassium.
Gosh. Then it's still pretty sore to this day. That was on Sunday, and it's still sore.
Got you a good one.
Oh, now I'm scared to sleep.
Don't be scared to sleep.
I'm scared to sleep. But I also think it was because...
You need to be hydrated before you go to bed.
I also think it was because when my legs are out of the covers, I stretch more. And so if I just tuck them in the covers next time... You
won't stretch as much?
I won't be able to... I'll have as much room to stretch, so... Oh, man. But I am scared to go to sleep.
You're going to be up all the time now. No stretching.
Don't get a Charlie horse. Don't get a Charlie horse. Oh man. So that was our experience the other night. It was so funny though. I did from a deep sleep just start wailing. It was like, I said the F word. I was like,
did you? Oh yeah. Probably what woke me up.
Yeah. And then you're like, are you having a contraction? Did you think the baby was coming?
I knew you were having some type of contraction.
Something. You didn't think I was just talking in my sleep, like having a nightmare?
No. You don't do that.
That's true. Really. I don't. But I also don't have Charlie horses often either.
So I had to figure out what was going on.
Look at Berkeley and his duck right now.
He's a good boy.
My goodness. He's so cuties. You can't see him, but he's sleeping, but his duck toys, like they're facing each other. His duck is right on his face, and it looks like he's staring at him. It's so cute. So it's almost Christmas. Yeah. This is 5 days till Christmas.
I was just thinking, does it matter that our child isn't going to be born before Christmas? Are you excited that it's after, or doesn't matter?
I mean, what do you mean?
I don't know. But the timing, I guess, doesn't matter.
No, I'd rather him not be born yet.
Yeah.
I think March, hopefully it will be March. I'm due February 28th. It's a leap year. hopefully that doesn't happen. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about it. But hopefully he's born in the beginning of March. I think that'd be perfect. That'd be so perfect. Does anyone in our family, I think we decided, who has a birthday in March? Oh, my family has a birthday in March.
I don't know. I'm not great with birthdays.
I know. I'm pretty bad too. But I think we discovered that between both of our families, I think we have a birthday in every single month except August is the only month that no one has a birthday. Okay. Which is crazy.
Good. We need a month to calm down. We need a month to chill out.
No. Yeah.
Man.
So, but I don't know. Just living in a sunny, hot state, like living in California or living here, it's not the same around Christmas time as it was back in Oklahoma.
Really?
Yeah. It's not cold. I mean, it's kind of cold, but not really.
I mean, I'm wearing a beanie and
but it's not.
It's Florida
cold.
Don't
like get bundled up and
yeah.
It's different. I mean, I still like it. Like down here where we live, the UTC area, it like goes all out with decorating Christmas for the holidays lights and stuff. But yeah, it just, I don't know. It just doesn't feel the same. Like we don't even have a tree this year. So, but that's fine.
You know what? I don't really miss that cold much. It can be a hot Christmas for all I care.
Sweating.
I'm all right with it.
I know you are.
I'll go visit if I want to get cold.
Something's wrong with your blood.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on, but I don't like the cold much.
What was your favorite holiday tradition?
Thanksgiving was always my favorite holiday, though.
Yeah.
I mean, Christmas is good. It's like second place. But Thanksgiving, because first off, nobody gets anybody gifts. It's just about the food. It's not about like, what did you get? What
so
did
it's like
so-and-so
family
get
and
you?
Food, and Christmas is like family.
There's
and
no
presents.
anticipation for I may get something, I may not get something. It's all about the community. It's all about family. We all bring one food or a couple things of food, and that's it. So we would always get together at my great grandmother's. She had a basketball gym right across the street, and so we would typically eat and then go over there and shoot hoops or play some 3-on-3 or play some basketball, shoot some hoops, and everybody would be shooting from grandma to, great grandma, everybody would be playing, uncles, little cousins. So that's fun. That's good. And then we'd all probably like go watch football and fall asleep in the living room on the floor or on the couch or something. Yeah. So I always really enjoyed
Christmas is
Thanksgiving.
Not the same. As an adult, I just remember the feeling of Christmas morning, like anticipating it, like you said, just.
Like how old were you?
I mean, probably up until 20. No, I'm just kidding.
That's not bad. That's good.
I'm just kidding. Up until probably up until 15, 16.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, as you got older, I would say like 0 to 10 was the most exciting. There were multiple years where I just remember I was like, could not go to sleep. I just was waiting to wake up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think definitely want to have some holiday traditions with our family, and I don't know what that is, but
yeah, I think so. What I was going to say earlier is I feel like I'm in this transition period, or a lot of the males that I'm around, as far as like Miles, Coven, we're all like in this transition period where now we're becoming like the leaders and the men in our family, when everybody else is getting older. Now we're starting to have kids. It's like we're in this transition period where now when we're the ones that have to make these plans or have the places where the events can take place and things like that, whereas at one point we were just the kids that had to be there. Mm-hmm. And so it's like the traditions may change and stuff may change, but it's like kind of up to us to start that, to like get the families and the people and everybody together.
Yeah.
So that's really what it's about.
I don't know how I will be as a mother when it comes to stuff like this, but right now, currently my mindset is I just see so many parents just go all out with gifts. All out.
In my opinion, when they're young, if they're not going to remember or they don't
not for babies, but I don't know. I'm just like, is this what a child perceives as love? Is that they get all of these gifts on one day of the year?
Well,
awkward card.
Obviously it's not up to that kid. It's not their decision. They don't know either way, right? So whatever the parent does, it's on them, and those decisions are made from whatever the parent's been through in their past. Like, are they trying to throw elaborate parties and do all this because they didn't get that? Or are they trying to throw it because they did get that and they're held to that expectation? Or so it's really whatever the parents' thoughts are or experiences are. So for us, or for me, like, Christmas within my immediate family wasn't ever huge or elaborate gifts. It was like very small things, or like, you know, I told you one time, like, my dad got me a pair of gloves, and I'm thinking, what the hell? Like, seriously, a pair of gloves? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I used them, you know, I used the gloves, and I'm like, yeah, but thanks.
That goes back to what you just said about it's the parents, coming from the parents' experience.
Right. So yeah, they were used, but it wasn't like what all the other kids were getting. You know, so I'm like, what the heck? Like, but that's just not what my dad valued, or, you know, I think my mom did a little bit more. She always was a kind of a gift giver, and so it's just about.
How did that make you feel when your dad just gave you a pair of gloves? Towards him, or towards do you remember what your thoughts were?
I felt like he was a tightwad. I'm like,
but do you think he didn't love you?
No, I knew that he did. It's just like, it was always like, he wouldn't give me money either. It was like, you need 10, 20 bucks? All right, well, I got a couple hours of work I need out of you. You know, it's like, we can go to the shop and you can sweep the shop up for me. You can clean up this job site. You can fold all these clothes. You can put these clothes up. You can go in the backyard and clean it up. You know, garage needs to be in order. Like,
I think that's good, valuable lessons, though.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's kind of the right way to go about things, you know?
Yeah. I think it just goes back to what you have said multiple times about not wanting such high highs, or like high days experiences. Mm-hmm. You know, we are like, I've had a better random Tuesday with you than so-and-so, or people just make these things like their wedding day is the best day of their life. And then having a baby is the best day of their life. And then a Christmas is the best day of their life.
That's one thing that I told you a while ago, is like, I see a lot of people that post, like, their wedding pictures or photos or whatever. And they're like, best day of my life and this and that. And it's like, I mean, I'm happy for you and we're all happy for you, but when that's all you post the same time every year, it's like, I wish you good memories, not just on your wedding day too. Like, I wish you guys good experiences outside of that day.
Yeah. So
let's not relive that day every day. Let's have other good days that we could relive as well.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of what Christmas is, kind of what I'm coming from with Christmas is, I think it's like the one day a year where all these kids and even parents are like, oh, this is the day I get to show them how much I really love them. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And I don't want to be like that. I want it to be like, this day is just like every other day, almost. Maybe a little better, but yeah, I don't know how I'll be as a parent with getting gifts. I just know I see it all the time. Like,
my dad would say when we're so we lived in Yukon, and we would drive to, like, Clinton was where my mom was from, and then we would drive to Hobart where my dad was from. So we would have like 2 days of Christmas.
Towns.
Yeah, so we would have like 2 days of Christmas or a weekend or whatever. So my dad would say before we left, he's like, all right, you don't need to change your clothes or anything. Just clothes on your back, and we got to keep this car real empty, because on the way back, this thing's going to be full. And he was right. Like, we get so many gifts that, like, on the way back, literally can't close the hood and there's just presents everywhere. And it's like, you know, my dad's just like, man, got so much stuff, you know?
Yeah. So. I want to come up with a cool holiday tradition. Just don't know what that would be.
Okay. Well, we'll think of something.
There was a really good one. I think you told me about it with the Halloween. It was around Halloween. This is obviously off topic, but the Halloween that those parents did with the little girl.
Yeah, so she would, whenever they go trick-or-treating or get all the candy, she could swap out they would let her keep 5 or 6 pieces of candy. And then she would swap out her candy. I forgot what the clever...
a witch switch.
Witch switch. There you go.
Yeah, and so they
put out their bucket of candy on the porch, and they would leave it there. And then the witch would switch the candy, take the candy, and then leave her a gift.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a good idea.
Because it doesn't make her want to eat all the candy. And instead, she gets a gift.
Mm-hmm.
So something like that would be cool. Anyway, we'll figure it out next year when he is 9 months old and still doesn't know what the heck is going on.
He'll figure it out.
He'll figure it out one day.
Well, I was going to say, when did you figure it out?
Figure out what?
Nothing. Nothing.
We'll figure out
nothing.
That
I'm not ruining anything for anybody. So, anyways.
Figure out that Santa's sleigh is pulled by all female reindeer.
That's what we found out today. That's what you told me.
Found that out yesterday. I was 33 years old when I found that out because male reindeer shed their antlers during the winter. So really, Santa's sleigh is pulled by all female reindeer.
You sure there's not one?
Don't forget it.
Male one that's like just giving them directions, or?
No. It's really a female.
Okay. Well, see, girls can drive, and they can, they know their directions just as well as men. Mm-hmm. So.
Women are the superior race.
Reindeer obviously
or gender
show that.
They can get around the entire world without any troubles.
With no GPS.
Do we want to do a card?
Sure. Do you want me to draw?
Card? No, you did it last time.
Don't draw that front one.
You don't like the intimacy one?
No, just particularly that card.
Oh, I would look at it anyway.
No, okay. I told you not to.
I'm not going to talk about that.
She doesn't listen.
This is a family-friendly podcast.
Well, then don't draw that one.
Yeah, I can't do that one. These are so hard to... Okay. Oh, God.
What is it?
This is a relationship theme. So there's different themes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, this is sad. But if our relationship ended tomorrow, what 3 things would you miss the most?
Oh, I just miss your presence. Just having your spirit around. Yeah, that'd be so hard. 3 things? Well, definitely your presence. Your smile. Just... No, just your presence and your smile, and just I don't know. I'd miss you making fun of me, and miss you, cracking jokes and kind of dishing it back at me. You know what I mean? I like it. I like our making fun of each other and banter, and I love your sense of humor. So I don't know. That's a hard question to think about, but
so my presence, my sense of humor. What else? One more.
Your touch too, obviously. I'm always wanting to hold your hand or touch you or be around you, and so that would be really hard.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. And I'd probably take Berkeley with me too. So.
Well, that would be even harder too. That'd be twice as hard.
I would miss about you. Oh gosh, yeah, probably just you making me laugh, because I don't know where I get my laughter from if it wasn't for you. I have to watch comedy all day, every day. Yeah, I'd miss just the way you help with like anything around that I need you to do or help with. It's like we're a really good team. It's not like I don't feel like it's one-sided. I feel like, we're good about sharing stuff and responsibilities and stuff like that and roles.
I try to help you with whatever you need help with and try not to ask any questions.
Don't ask questions, just do it.
Head down. Keep moving forward.
And then, oh man, definitely just, I think you making me laugh goes with like sense of humor and your personality, and then just how you're very just, not eager to help, but you're very just like, you just help a lot. And then, definitely, I think touch. I think everyone needs touch in their lives, and I could probably be better about touch and being lovey-dovey, which I think I'm okay. But I think we're like the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. You can't have just peanut butter, and you can't have just jelly.
Let's talk about it for a second. Let's get into some peanut butter and jelly talk.
God, what is that?
What?
Oh.
So, peanut butter and jelly.
Want one right now.
Are you a 50% peanut butter, 50% jelly type girl?
No.
Or what's your ratio? Peanut butter to jelly.
What's
your ratio?
Peanut butter to jelly is more peanut butter than jelly. I don't like
75-25 type girl.
No, I'm like 60-40. 65-35.
Okay. Now let's get into the specifics of peanut butters.
Creamy
crunchy. Peanut butter, no crunchy.
No. If you eat crunchy peanut butter, you are psychotic.
Okay. Never had it. Never had that. Crunchy peanut butter. Jelly. What kind of jelly? You going strawberry jam? Or are you going?
The OG grape is always
OG
good,
grape.
But if I
OG Welch's grape.
If I strayed outside of grape, it would be strawberry. Nothing else. No raspberry.
No peach. No apple butter.
No.
Okay.
Again, psychotic.
Okay. Okay, grape jelly it is.
Yeah. So, and then bread is very important as well.
Yes, that's the next third topic we could get into.
Well, I guess it's not as important. The bread is really just the vehicle for the PB and the J.
Really? You really think that?
Go into your mouth, because sometimes I will just have a scoop of PB and a scoop of jelly.
Really? Without the bread? Yes. I've never seen you do that.
I have.
What?
Oh, yeah.
So, hold on.
The bread is like a 10%.
Do you scoop the peanut butter with a spoon? And then, how do you, so it's a squirt jelly.
Squirt the jelly.
So it's a squirt jelly.
Yeah. So I'll do
So spoon of peanut butter, squirt jelly, PBJ bomb.
Do we have any right now? I'm going to do that today.
So I invented something. I think I showed you. But when I was prepping for my contest, I had to eat all of that baby spinach. And I've never really just sat down to eat spinach before. It's not my thing. Like, I don't
take leaves.
Yeah, I don't. But so they said eat like a handful of spinach. So I literally would take a handful of spinach, wash it under the sink, and then I'd put that dressing right there in my hand. And I call it a salad bomb. And so like I'd get that baby spinach, put that fat-free dressing. What kind of dressing was that? It was good. 7. I go, salad bomb. Like that.
And
2
that's
seconds.
How you got your greens for the day.
Yeah, salad bombing. That's what I invented.
That's pretty good. That's a good way. That's a good way to get your spinach. I wouldn't eat raw spinach unless it was a salad.
Yeah. Well, that's just when you do a salad bomb.
Salad bomb. All right. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't want to have a salad bomb, though. I want a PB&J.
That's fine. We all got to do it how we got to do it.
Also, another thing, just one little quick tip about PB&J. If you put Cheetos.
What?
Cheetos in your sandwich.
Puffs? We're talking about
No,
which one?
just regular Cheetos. Oh, so good.
I'm like finding out all sorts of new stuff about you right now.
I've told you the Cheeto trick.
I've not seen it in person.
I would like lay a bed of Cheetos.
A bed?
Lay a bed of Cheetos in the middle of the sandwich. And then when you bite into it.
Sparingly, like an actual log to log, like back to back.
Yes, exactly. Because every bite has to be the same.
Wow. I'll try it. Whatever.
Try anything once.
Speaking of being different.
Who says that's different?
Now that
normal?
We know you're different, what do you think makes us different as a couple? What makes us different than most other couples or people?
Yeah, we've talked about this, I think, a few times. And I think the main thing that I think about, or my answer would be, I feel like we don't just play relationship, or really don't play house, or we're not going to play parents. And I feel like we have a deeper connection than most.
Thanks. That means a lot, actually.
Relationships.
That means a lot to
witness so many people that, yes, they're together. Yes, they're married. Yes, they have a house. Yes, they have jobs. Yes, they have kids. But they just play, like their lives just revolve around that. It's very superficial and not.
Do you think that's because they're unable to like be open with each other, or it's because they have some type of feeling that they're holding in that they don't want their partner to know?
Yeah.
And
yeah, I mean, there's really no other.
Or maybe they feel that they're in a position that they don't want to be in, but they don't know what to do about it.
I just think people don't know how to get there themselves. And so they can't obviously do that with someone else. Whereas I think both you and I, when we met, were both in such good places emotionally and self-aware that we are able to do that with ourselves first. And then, so I feel like we were
both okay with being by ourselves.
We just have this like connection deeper than most people that I know. I mean, I know a couple couples that have it for sure, but I think that's way more valuable than like, oh, we have all these things and we go on these trips. And I don't know. I just feel like we are almost one, if that makes sense. Like,
we have a deep connection.
I can tell you anything of how I'm feeling, what I'm thinking. You could do the same, and there's no guilt. There's no judgment. There's no, oh, I have to zip it up for him and make sure that he doesn't see me being vulnerable, and you're the same. And
to be completely honest with you, like what you're saying right now, just about our deep connection, it makes me realize that like that's kind of honestly what life is about. Now that I've just had my father, who's like the closest person to me, pass on, it's like I'm very thankful for that relationship we've had, that deep connection. Anybody can look from the outside into it, but they don't know like how deep it is and how magical and meaningful it actually is and was. And so now I know as a 35-year-old how important that is to have a meaningful life, is to have those meaningful relationships. So I'm thankful that I've got that figured out at a somewhat early age.
Yeah, you do. You're so great at all your relationships with friends, family, me. There's just no.
Well, it's just kind of like that question that we talked about. It's like, what happens if one of us is gone in a couple of days? Like, what do we have? You know, and it's like we have those memories. We have that solid foundation. We have those things, you know what I mean, that you can't take away. So
yeah,
that's what it's about for sure. I just
see a lot of people behind the scenes having a shitty relationship, but they make sure they portray that they don't. And it's really sad because all they know is, let me try to keep up this facade instead of actually, hey, close the curtain on your relationship to the outside world for however long you need to, months, years. Fix your relationship and actually be happy, and then when you go. That's why I think like I really don't post about us so much, because I don't feel the need to make it seem like we're perfect or we're always okay or we're doing this, we're doing that.
Yeah, well, we're definitely not perfect, but we've definitely we're growing and learning.
Yeah.
So
I would just rather keep that a little bit more private, because I just don't feel the need to make it seem like we're doing any better than we actually are. I don't know. So, yeah, I think that's what makes us different. And that's why with you, I literally never have any worry about anything at all. Like what you're doing, your loyalty to me, your honesty to me. I never worry about you verbally doing anything to me, or anything. Like I'm just like, there's no worry. It's weird. I've never had that. So, but I think that shows how much work we each have individually done.
Right.
Well, because you only act out of who you are. So if you're acting some sort of way towards me or vice versa, it's because I feel like that within myself, and we both don't have that.
Same. And I've had to learn that about myself too.
Yeah.
If I'm acting some sort of way towards you, I need to kind of analyze what's going on in here and reevaluate things a little bit.
So yeah, what was that? What would you say? So, like, just agree with that, or do you have another answer?
Honestly, I think what we're good at creating stuff. We're good at making stuff. I love to draw, paint, make stuff, be in that creative zone. You like to be creative in a different type of way, whether it's production or content creating or videos, so I think your creativity is just a little bit different than mine, but I'm creative too. I think we're creating, hopefully we're creating more than we're consuming. But I also don't think we have that thing that like holds us back to where we're like, well, I can't do that. Like, it's just like, all right, well, let's try it. Well, let's try to do it. It's like,
I'll try anything once.
I know I'm not like the best illustrator, the best drawer, the best, but I can try it my way. I can try to do it my way. I can try to draw it my way or illustrate things my way. And that's unique to the world, the way I do things my way. So
yeah.
So let's,
we're definitely both very creative in, like you said, different ways. But it's cool.
One thing that I think that you and I have a good job at, and I've noticed this in you, and this is why I was like attracted to you, like right from the beginning, is I think the first time we went out together, or there was like a community party in my neighborhood, and to see how you mingled with other people, like that's important, how you are able to communicate to a big group of people or new people or at a party, you know what I mean? And
strangers.
You just handled yourself really well. You're able to communicate with people. You're able to talk. You were yourself still, which I was like, oh, okay, she's good. She can handle herself, so that was important to me and that was attractive. But to see the way people open up to you easily, you're really easy to talk to, easy to get to know, like not judgmental. And I think sometimes being a really beautiful woman or a beautiful person, that like can be hard for other people to talk to somebody like that that's so attractive and good looking. And it's like, you make it easier a little bit. You're not like, what does this person want? Or like, it's like, you're very open, and you handle yourself well, whether it's a guy trying to talk to you because you're beautiful or if it's, you know what I mean? It's like you're able to handle yourself and talk, and that's important to me. It's like,
thanks, babe.
Yeah,
I'll take that compliment.
I think that could kind of bring us into like, with that being said, like as how we are different or what we have to offer that's different, or with us being who we are, how do you want your child to be, or what would you teach him, or what are some important things for him to know?
Yeah, I was when we were talking about creating, I was like, well, we're kind of creating the most important thing.
Yeah, we are. We really are.
Biggest collaboration we will ever have.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm totally excited about, because
too.
It's exciting to see where the genes are going to take us, or like how he's you know, is he going to favor his mom in some sort of ways? Is he going to favor his dad in some sort of ways? Or I don't know. It's exciting to see.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
But how would you, if you could teach our son, or, you know, obviously you've had parents and now you're coming into being a parent. I remember my father saying, there was some stuff my dad did, and I made sure when I become a dad, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to embarrass my kid like that, or I'm not going to, you know. And my dad said that he remembered, and then when he had me and he started getting into this, he's like, oh, okay, I can't be like my old man here. I got to be like me. I remember these moments. So he could remember those moments being embarrassed as a kid, or certain things that he's had to promise himself, which is crazy that you remember those things as a child. So I don't really think I have too many things like that. But for me, I want my son to be able to articulate and talk and express himself, and in order for him to get the things out of life that he needs, he's going to be able to communicate it. That's it. You have to be able to communicate your ideas, thoughts, feelings in order to be heard and seen and stuff. So that to me is what's going to be important.
You know, everyone always says, when I'm a parent, I'm going to do complete opposite of what my parents did. Or you hear that. Or maybe they say they're going to do everything their parents did. And for me, I don't think it's going to be, I truly, love everything our parents did for us.
Yeah.
Looking back, I had a great childhood. I think it's just the things that they were missing that they could have expanded on, that they withheld. Because I say this all the time. You can't do something you don't know how to do. Mm-hmm. So I think...
You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah, so I think just now that I know all the things that they didn't know, I'm just excited to... I think the main word that comes to mind is just empower my child. I don't think I got a lot of empowerment. I think a lot of the reasons I have, you know, maybe self-doubt or low self-esteem sometimes, or low confidence, is because not that someone was telling me I didn't have it. It's just because someone wasn't telling me I had it or I could be anything. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't ever talked down to growing up, but I wasn't ever talked up either. So I think one of the things I'm excited is just to like empower my child to, again, like you, communicate, express himself, and find his identity, and be like, you can try anything you want. I will not judge you. Just no judgment, just not putting them in a box and being like, you have to act like this, or else I'm going to not say I don't love you, but withhold behaviors of love because you're not acting like the way I want you to, if that makes sense. So just letting him and encouraging him and empowering him to be an individual, know his identity, not be afraid to share his feelings and emotions, and not punish him for not being a certain way, basically. Because I just feel like I was just so put in a box and silently screaming that, like, I wanted to be out of this box, and I want my parents to trust me, and I want them to let me explore. And not to say I wanted to be a bad child, but you can't really suppress kids' feelings and emotions and make them feel a certain way. So,
do you think that your communication between your parents when you were young was able to go back and forth?
No, there was no communication.
Stream of communication didn't flow up and down the chain of command?
No. No, I don't remember any conversation being had, unless, like I said, this is why I was so bad about confrontation up until my late 20s is because every time I was having a conversation or a talk with my parents, it was because I was getting in trouble. So that made me hate anyone ever approaching me and saying, hey, we need to talk. I would just immediately bust out crying and not being able to have any confrontation or constructive conversation because I thought I was getting in trouble. Like the little girl inside me was like, I'm being bad. And so I don't like this. So yeah, like you said, there's no flow of like back and forth. Like we're on the same page, everything's good, and like I want to have his back no matter what he does, and just make sure he learns lessons and is treating people nicely and being kind. But
he will.
Yeah. So
he will.
I'm way more excited to have a baby now than I would have been 5 years ago for sure, because I'm just so glad that I know all of these things now and I can go into it with them as opposed to being like, oh, I have a child, but I didn't learn this until 10 years in, because it's kind of already too late. I mean, their developmental stage is really early on when they start like inhabiting beliefs and behaviors, and like that's really early on that they actually develop those things.
So what I was telling you was, our parents learned as much as they could. They got to that level that they could, and then they had us, and they were growing along with us as we're growing into these young adults. But they have given us these tools, this knowledge, these facts, these things, and then now it's up to us to take it to the next level. And then I feel like you're really advanced, and psychology obviously a lot, but now we've taken it to this next level, and we're going to have a son, and now we're going to get to teach him all that. Then he's going to even be able to take a step beyond what we're able to get to if we properly help him in the right direction.
Do it right, which I think we will.
Yeah, so
that's good.
For me, that's what's exciting, is to see like, where does he take it? Where does he take these lessons and his charisma and his demeanor and all this stuff that he's going to get to learn? Like, where does he, take it to the next level?
I can kind of see that now that you say that, of just knowing what my grandma has told me about the way she was raised, and you can see that little incremental. All right, my grandma's not going to do the way she was raised, so she did it with my mom. My mom didn't really love the way my grandma did it, so she didn't do that with me. Now I'm like, I didn't love the way you did it either, so I'm not going to do it that way. So, yeah. I'm just so grateful to have the awareness that I have.
Yeah. You are very aware, which is nice.
Yeah. It's just, I won't go into it, but it's just I can like turn the spotlight back on certain people and just be like, I see you, basically. I see you for how you really are.
When I read that book, The Big Leap, by Gay Hendricks, we talked about it a little bit, but I could really see that in other people, maybe a little bit in myself, self-sabotaging behaviors, but I could really see it like clear as day in other people. And I think we're all our own biggest enemy a lot of times. So once we kind of learn to be nice to ourselves, to have that positive self-talk, positive self-affirmations, take care of yourself like you're someone you're in charge of taking care of. And once you can start being there for yourself, that's kind of how you can take things to the next level. Yeah. So I think that's one thing I want to be able to teach my kid is like, hey, you're going to screw up, dude. You're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes. But as soon as you make those mistakes, the quicker you can come out and say, dude, I messed up. You could admit those faults, then we can deal with it.
Yeah.
But if you try to hold that in and try to deny it, and that's when things are going to get harder.
That will build up shame so fast. Yeah. That's just one thing I never thought I could do, is just fully like admit or show anything or be wrong or not be put together at all times, or just, I just developed shame at a really early age, I discovered.
Really?
Yeah. Another thing is I'm a people pleaser, and I am a perfectionist because thought I had to perform for love. And this even goes down to like elementary school plays, you know, I'd always get praised so heavily for anything I performed at, and not just everyday life, not just like, you're an amazing kid just because you are. It's like, oh, you did so amazing in that play. You did so amazing in that sporting event.
So that's why you think you strive to perform?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy, because I didn't. I remember, you know, my dad saying, good game. You know, I'm like, Dad, I didn't play good. I thought you did pretty good. You know, it's like, I'm like, I didn't want to hear it because I know I didn't play well. He's like, no, I thought you did pretty well. It's a hard game, man. You know, it's all right.
Yeah.
Like, and so
your dad loved you literally if you scored 100 points, if you scored 0 points, and that's how it should be.
Yeah. Yeah. He would always encourage me to be myself. And, you know, there's one story that I was in middle school, and I think I've told you this, but I was wearing these Gary Payton Son of Glove shoes. You guys got to go Google Son of Glove shoes. And they got like this zip up and they zip sideways. They were so sick. They're Carolina blue and white. Man, they're clean. And so excited about those shoes, and I got them. And one of my friends made fun of them, you know, said something like, only black people wear those shoes. And I'm like, what? You know, I'm like, dude, these shoes are tight. Like, these are it, you know? And he's like, those are ugly, you know, something. And I was like, it hurt my feelings, first off. Like, it really hurt my feelings as a middle school kid that he would even say that. Like, who cares? You know, it's what I like. And anyways, I was saddened by his racial behavior, because I didn't think he was like that. I told my dad, I just like kind of broke down. I cried about it. I was like, what kid goes to school with brand new shoes and comes home crying because somebody said something about him, you know? And my dad said, listen, you are Tyler Fight. If you think those shoes are cool, they're cool. You think they're cool because they are, you know? That's what you like, right? You like them? I'm like, yeah, I love them. It's like, all right then, you're good. Don't worry about what other people have to say about it.
Yeah, that's.
He's like, we spend good money on those shoes. They're nice. They're good. You know, it's like.
Yeah. How old were you?
I was probably 7th grade.
Okay, yeah.
6th, 7th grade.
Just the fact that you still remember that, it means it did.
Yeah, well, it was like a good
some sort of
friend, you know, and I'm like, dude, I loved it because I was being an individual. No one had those. Like, no one, parents are taking them to get the Son of Glove, Gary Payton's. Like,
I don't even know who that is.
My dad used to say too, we had one stipulation when he would buy me shoes. He would have one stipulation. He would say, all right, and put the shoes up on the counter, and my dad would be holding his wallet and his money like this, and he's like, tell the people. I'm like, I'd like look at the cashier, and I'm like, Daddy-o got the hookup. That's what he would make me. He would make me say, Daddy-o got the hookup.
Why?
Just because he thought it was funny. Just like, my dad got the hookup, you know? So I'd be like, Daddy-o got the hookup. Okay. And he'd be like, all right. So that's what.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's what I would have to say before buying the new shoes.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's such a good lesson.
So.
Yeah. So, I mean, just the two things that you just said was something I, first of all, never got told, but your example of loving your child no matter what, and not making them think that they have to perform a certain way or earn love, basically. Like, if you do good in this game, I will love you. And not to say that they will say those words, but the actions your parents take of showing you that is how you're going to perceive love. So I think you were never like, your dad was just like this, like steady. Like, he's like, I love you no matter what. So that's good. And then, just empowering you and encouraging you to be an individual. Super important. Yeah. Super, super important.
Yeah, people will always remember how you make them feel.
Mm-hmm.
or how they make you feel.
Yeah, I just actually heard that. I'm reading an audiobook right now, and she's basically kind of reliving her upbringing, and she was like, I will never remember how I learned that 4 is 2 plus 2. You know, she's like, I don't remember when I learned that, of like, oh, I remember that one day that I learned 2 plus 2 equals 4. And she's like, I don't remember how I learned anything, but she's like, I will remember so many different instances of how teachers made me feel, of how students made me feel, and just like that, like your instance of someone hurt your feelings about your shoes.
I can always remember how people make me feel.
Yeah. So hopefully we make people feel good when we leave their presence. I think so. Okay, so my stomach is literally rumbling, and hopefully you can't hear it in the microphone, but it's rumbling. I haven't eaten today. But I do want
you some food.
Maybe we could go to breakfast.
Oh, let's go to breakfast.
Okay.
Special treat.
Yes. But I do want to finish with one last question that I wanted to get to, and I just wanted to ask. I think it's kind of cool to ask. I'm going to try to start asking everyone this on our show or whoever, but what is one thing that you struggle with the most, do you think?
I think one thing that I've had to really learn is that my life is my life, right? Like, this is nobody else's life. This is like the one life that you get. And so I can cater, or I can curate this life however I want it, right? However, it doesn't matter. If I want to go become a drug addict, if I want to go I have those capabilities. There's all these other people in the world that have their thoughts about what they think you should be doing. Like, they see me and they could probably maybe clear as day be like, Tyler needs to be working for this company over here doing this. Like, but it's actually up to me to do whatever it is that I want to do. You know what I mean? And so for me, it's been hard to not, even though it's people that I love, care about, value their opinion, they might want me to be doing something completely different or have an idea for me, but I can't go down that road of doing everything everybody else wants for me. I have to really tap in to what is it that I care about? What is it that makes me happy? What is it that I want to do? Because if I'm busy curating my life to everybody else, then...
So is that a struggle for you?
It's a struggle for me because I feel I'm always listening to those people that I really love and care about instead of tapping in and putting other people on the back burner if I have to. It's like a lot of times I put other people first before dealing with what I need to be dealing with myself. You know what I mean? So I think the hardest thing for me sometimes is to put myself over other people because I'm just so people pleaser or want others to be happy, or so it's hard for me to set those boundaries of like, I'll get to you when I get to you, or like, you know what I mean? Or even though I'm kind of right smack dab in the middle of making this little project or doing this, I'm like, I'll leave it in a split second to go help somebody else. Or so it's like, for me, that's been hard. It's been hard knowing that I have to live my life the way that I want to live it, even though other people might have a view of what they think I should be doing.
That's good. I think that's kind of another layer of that is just boundaries, like you said.
Right. Yeah, I could be better with
yourself, your time, your individuality. That's really kind of what it boils down to. It's not your problem isn't the inability to say no. It's the inability to see why you should say no. Yeah.
That's good. Prolific. What do you think that you struggle with?
I get really prolific when I'm starving and want to eat my hand. I'm just kidding. Okay, so yeah, I think I struggle with I struggle the most with thoughts for sure. I would go.
Yeah, I could see that.
I would go with my thoughts. I would say
your thoughts keep running.
I would say my biggest struggle is the thought of never feeling like I'm doing enough, never feeling like I'm supposed to be where I'm supposed to be, never feeling fully satisfied or fulfilled. It's a daily thing that I have to, my mind gets ahead of myself and I have to like pull it back. Like, we are right here right now. You are fine. You are safe. You have everything you need. And I have to write that out every day. What I'm grateful for is like having everything I need. I have it. If this is one way I think people can tell if they're grateful or not. It's a little trick that I do. If you are grateful or not, and basically the world didn't stop, but your life was put on a freeze, and for the rest of your life you had to live exactly how you were living, having what you have, the job, everything. If you couldn't gain anything else or lose anything else, would you
live that
would
every
you
day?
be content with everything you had right now in that moment? I think that's one way you could be like, wow, no, I actually would not like that. Or you could be, yeah, I would be happy. If nothing in my life changed for the next 60 years, I would be happy. If the world just was like, all right, everyone, time has frozen. You are going to stay here the rest of your life. That's like a trick that I do. And I'm like, well, I mean, yeah, I would be. I actually would be totally fine. So yeah, I'm grateful.
Yeah. That's a good way of looking at it, I guess. So.
Yeah. So anyway,
I feel that same way, but I feel like I think Matthew McConaughey gives a speech about it. One of his awards he wins, but he's always like, oh, I don't have a hero, but my hero is me in 5 years or 10 years or whatever. And that's kind of true. You know, it's like, well, we're here in this moment with this podcast and this space and this everything, and you might not be content with everything, but there was a time when you wanted all this to be a possibility, and now it is a possibility. And even though we're here and now, it's like, okay, well, yeah, that's what I wanted, but I want other stuff too, and I want to get to the next level. But you do have to stop. And there's one thing that I feel like I'm really good at, and I'm good at like reflecting. For some reason, I've always like given myself time to reflect, and reflecting doesn't necessarily mean it doesn't necessarily mean like dwelling on the past or like worried about the past. It just like literally means to think about where you've come from.
I think dwelling and reflecting are two totally different words.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mix those up.
But I always kind of give myself a little bit of time to like think about the recent past. You know, 3, 5, 8 years,
24 hours.
For real. It's important because once you really understand how much you have grown and changed. So one of the big ones that I did with just like a year evaluation was when I did that calisthenics contest last year? Anyway, the night before I went out to the park where I like learned how to do a muscle up, and I went out there and I think, man, you know, last year at this time, before my first calisthenics competition, the night before I couldn't go to sleep. I drank like 3 or 4 beers. Like I was nervous the night before.
The one I went to with you?
Maybe. The first year, yeah. I drank like 3 or 4 beers the night before so I could go to bed. I was like, couldn't sleep. I was anxious. Then the next year, I'm meditating or I'm reflecting on that past year, and I was about to go to the second calisthenics contest. And I was like, I'm good. Didn't need a beer, didn't need anything. I'm like, it's 9 o'clock. I'm ready to go to bed. Like I was just reflective on that growth that I had that previous year and thought about how far I've come. It's like now, you know, that first year I was just looking to be on the playing field with these guys. Second year I'm like, I know my place. I'm good. Like I'm top 3, top 5. Let's go. Let's go get it, you know? And it's like I give myself that time to reflect and to be gracious and to say, you know, come a long ways. You've done good. It's like
I think that highlights the importance of just doing something, no matter what the outcome is.
Right.
What if you would have done 10 in between those two? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like you would have been like just so much growth. And I think that's the problem with people is they don't just try to do something.
Right.
This podcast, for instance, yes. Would I love a huge studio with all the best equipment and the best microphones and people on set helping me, whatever, yes. But I have to go back and think, I just started with a microphone and a set of headphones in my dark closet. And the episodes we recorded with Rachel and I literally have probably 1 million downloads by now. And it's like...
And you guys started that literally half a world apart from each other.
And...
like you said, in the closet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So if I would just have never... If I would have been like, oh, well, no, like we have to start off with the best stuff and we have to start with the studio. And no, it's not how it works.
A true artist works with what they have.
Yeah.
So you're an artist.
Got my microphone. I can take it anywhere I want.
All I need is one mic.
Well, that was good. Can we go eat now?
Yeah, I'm excited about breakfast. What are you going to have this morning for breakfast?
I think should we go to Breakfast Company?
What are you going to have for breakfast?
Why you put me on the spot? Something healthy. I always get something healthy with like a little twist to it. Say, like, let me get an omelet with a blueberry muffin.
I would say 2 or 3 days out of the week when we eat breakfast together, it's always eggs, maybe a couple eggs, egg whites, half an avocado.
Yeah, it's super
bacon
healthy.
Or chicken sausage.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
And then we have 1 or 2 days we splurge on breakfast, I'd say, a week. So we're about to go do that right now. And I'm not going to feel bad about it.
We deserve it.
Love you, babe.
Well, I love you. Thank you for everything. And I'm grateful for you. And,
do that wink again.
I'm grateful for you.
I can't wink.
I'd never want to disappoint you or let you down. And I'm very proud of you. And I'm proud of how you conduct your life and how you've been handling your pregnancy with such grace and charisma. And
thanks.
It's been good. It's awesome. It's really awesome to watch and be a part of. So I'm happy.
Me too, babe.
I'm excited.
I love you.
I love you too.
Bye.
Bye.